I used to think my life was predictable in the best possible way. The kind of predictable that feels safe, steady, like a familiar melody you don't really listen to anymore because you already know every note by heart. I woke up every morning next to my wife, Elena, believing that stability was love and routine was happiness. Breakfast, work, small talk about nothing and everything, business meetings, polite smiles at charity dinners, planned vacations we barely felt excited about anymore. It was all so ordinary that I convinced myself it meant everything was fine. Looking back, maybe that was my first mistake, mistaking silence for peace. I met Elena years ago when my company was nothing more than a risky dream and a handful of stubborn ambition. I thought I built everything myself. I thought my intelligence, my determination, my long nights at the office made me successful. I didn't realize, not truly, how much of the world I lived in existed because of her money, because of her influence, because of doors she opened while pretending they were just naturally swinging open for me. I told myself it was partnership, teamwork, love. But deep down, I think I always knew she was the reason I stood where I stood. Still, I loved her. Or at least I loved the version of her I thought was real. The first cracks appeared so quietly, I almost stepped over them without noticing. She started coming home later. Sometimes she said she had meetings, sometimes charity events. Sometimes she simply said she needed time to think, and I foolishly assumed she meant about life, stress, maybe about us. She laughed less. Her eyes avoided mine more. She hugged me, but it felt like hugging a memory instead of a person. When we kissed, it was brief, like habit, like politeness. Then the distance became undeniable. She guarded her phone like it contained her soul. She smiled at things she wouldn't let me see. She started dressing differently. Not for me, not for events, but for something or someone. She wore perfume she hadn't used in years. Her voice softened when she texted. She wasn't cruel. She wasn't distant enough to fight, just distant enough to disappear slowly. One day, everything shattered in the quietest, simplest way possible. She forgot her phone at home. I didn't go searching for anything. I didn't want to be that kind of husband. But when it buzzed and then buzzed again and again, curiosity didn't feel like betrayal. It felt like survival. A message lit the screen. Last night was perfect. I can still feel you. The world didn't explode. It didn't collapse with drama or screaming thunder. It simply stopped, like someone pressed pause on reality and forgot to start it again. I don't remember how long I stared at the phone. I don't remember